So, I normally do live videos, but I decided that I was going to record this one and maybe post it later. I haven't decided yet. Excuse the sound in the background. That's Alex's meditation sleep music that he listens to at night, so hopefully that won't bother anybody. I just wanted to give you a little insight of what it's like to have health anxiety. I've been doing quite well lately. I've been regulated with my medications that I'm taking. I'm only taking 2, and I'm taking the smallest possible doses of those. And I've been doing very well. For the longest time, I would not wear my iWatch because it would check my pulse rate, and I was constantly checking my pulse rate. And I'm beyond that, and I wear it all the time now and haven't had an issue. And my husband even commented the other day that, wow, you've done really well. You haven't had any anxiety attacks. You've been doing great. I said, I know, it's nice. You know, it's nice to not live that way. But, weird things trigger anxiety. And one of them is, especially when you have health anxiety like I do, the death of others is a big trigger. And earlier this week or last week, one of my favorite teacher ever passed away. And his funeral is tomorrow. And today I went to see him, went to visitation to see him. And it's just surreal to sit there and look at this person that you just saw a couple of weeks ago and know that they're not here anymore. And lately my Facebook news feed has been just full of people passing away. Young, old, you know, from natural causes, from accidents, from things. And it's really just been welling up inside of me. And I even did pretty good today after going and visiting my teacher. And I'm sitting here this evening and I start to get kind of a dull headache. But it's a tension headache. I know what those are because I have the pain in the back of my neck, and you know, it's not excruciating. It's probably a 2. It's just enough to know it's there. It's just kind of annoying. And I'm pretty tired, and you know, I think I'm just kind of bleh. Like I am emotionally kind of just out there. And so thinking, oh well, I'm gonna go to bed early because I usually come and lay down, you know, 10:30 or so, and I'll stay awake till 1 o'clock, you know, just because my brain won't shut off. So I'm thinking, well, I'll get some good sleep tonight. And then all of a sudden, the thought pops in my mind, what if there's something major wrong with me? Why do I have this headache all of a sudden? Why am I sleepy? Why does my neck hurt? And even though I've gone through these same symptoms dozens and dozens of times before, I come in here and lay down and all I can think of is, what if I don't wake up in the morning? What if I have a brain tumor? What if I have a stroke? You know, all of these far-fetched, out in left field things. And then I start to think, I don't have a will. What would I wear? What would they dress me in? Or would they cremate me? Or, you know, things like, who would come to my funeral? Would it be a big funeral? What songs would they play? It's just this snowball of things. Get down, Bob. Sorry. And then your mind just really can't shut off. And I'm sitting here, I think I'm gonna grab a notebook and start writing these things down. You know, after recent events and events over the past couple of years, you know, I lost my mom suddenly, and we didn't have anything prepared. My kids lost their dad suddenly at a young age. And even after all of that, I am still not prepared. I don't have any idea what I want for my funeral. Or, you know, who gets this or who gets that. And, you know, it's silly things like that that you try not to think about, but you really should, because if you don't, you leave the burden on the rest of your family. And it's really hard to make those decisions, especially if you lose somebody suddenly. And so now, here my husband's trying to reassure me and comfort me. Honey, there's nothing wrong with you. Nothing's going to happen to you. You're going to wake up fine in the morning. And I know all this deep down in the back of my head, but it doesn't stop the thoughts. And so I'm probably going to be up half the night worrying about things that I have no control of. If there's something physically wrong with me, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. I do know that I need to get my wishes in order. But to sit down and think about those things is kind of morbid. What do I want what do I want played at my funeral? You don't want to think about those things. But I also don't want to leave that burden on somebody else. And so, that's how quick health anxiety especially, can come up on you. The smallest thing can trigger you. You can be doing great, and then all of a sudden one small thing will trigger you. And then you're set into a whirlwind of just chaos in your brain. And so, I guess the reason why I'm filming this and possibly going to post it, I may not post it at all, is because I know that I am not the only person that goes through this. Whether it's panic attacks or health anxiety or just generalized anxiety or whatever, a lot of people suffer. They can be doing great and the smallest thing will trigger them and boom, they're in a totally different world. And it's hard and it sucks. And so if you happen to encounter somebody who's normally in a good mood or happy-go-lucky or whatever, and you just kind of catch them in an off mood, you don't know what's going on in that person's life. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes or at home. And it's hard sometimes to have patience with people or to be understanding when you don't know the whole situation. But that's kind of why I'm, just take each day with some patience and try to realize that you're not the only thing happening in that person's world at that time. And so if somebody's a little snippy with you, or if somebody says something cross to you or off to you, maybe they're just having a bad day. We all have bad days. And we need to be more understanding as people for when people have bumps in the road. So, and you're not alone in this. A lot of people suffer from all this kind of stuff, and they don't talk about it because they're afraid they're going to get talked badly about, or there's a stigma against it, or whatever the case may be. I want you to know that it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to be off. And just take a deep breath and try to let go of the things that you can't control. Worrying does nothing but make things worse. Positive thoughts bring positive things to you. Negative thoughts bring negative things. And so, even in the worst situations, be obsessively grateful for them, be optimistic, and try to realize that even if this was your last day of, live your life like if this was my last day on earth. Did I make somebody smile? Did I do something to help somebody? Did I tell my family I love them? You need to live almost every day like that. So that if you did die in the night, would you regret what you'd done the day before or what you hadn't done? So, okay, I'm just rambling now, but just know that if you're suffering through anxiety and panic and that kind of stuff, depression, you're not alone. Keep your chin up and know that lots of people care about you and love you. So, thanks for watching. I hope you have a good evening.